What is going on, guys? This is Versus All Gaming with my review of Bleach chapter 568. And this chapter, it was definitely good. It was definitely pretty awesome. But this chapter, it was kind of disappointing to me. And it was because once again, Rukia had to be saved. After going so beastie on this guy, she ended up having to be saved by none other than Byakuya. And I get that this here makes for a good rematch between Nodt and him. But I feel like at the same time, Rukia could have definitely defeated this guy. But I did say that in my last chapter review that this fight right here wasn't over because we didn't see his holy Quincy form. And you know what? I was right, because in this chapter, he actually went into it to break out of Rukia ice. But the chapter, it starts off with Rukia, slowly turning her body temperature up. As she starts from minus 198 degrees, she goes to minus 142, then 116, then 85, and finally she goes into minus 67 to 31. And then when she reaches minus 14 degrees, we see that her blood, it is now flowing once more as we see it come out of her wounds, or at least one of her wounds on her finger. And she was saying that it looks like she may have exceeded the 4-second rule. But then we see Astronaut. He was thinking to himself, or maybe he was talking aloud, because Rukia did look back at him, and he was saying fearsomeness. So this might be the ability, to incite fear. And then he was saying that, this right here is wrong, because he only has one fear, and that right here is the wrath of His Majesty. So he kind of knows that, if he feels his majesty, he'll be killed, and his body, or his powers or his soul, it will be absorbed by Juha Botch. And that right there is the one thing that he actually fears. And so he was saying that everything that happened so far to him, thanks to Rukia, he was saying that this right here is not fear, or it's not painful at all. And he just had this creepy look on his face, because clearly, from being frozen like that, his skin is definitely damaged. But we see that he actually goes into his holy Quincy form, and it's definitely creepy. And we see that his eyes, they're rolling back into his head, and he just looks so freaking creepy. But his final Quincy form, it is called Tartar Foros, which is fear of God. And from his one fear, this name right here, it's just perfect for him. And it's definitely fits the part being creepy as well. But Rukia is definitely ready to fight. But it kind of already too late for her, because we see that this guy Fear, it already got into her. Because when Rukia was going in for an attack, he was saying that it can't touch him. And we see that Rukia was already feeling the effects of fear. But this time, his fear, it did not have to get into her wound or make contact with her body. Because in the final Quincy form, his fear actually goes into, her optic nerves. And so already, she is kind of feeling the effects of that. So now we see that, he kind of has all of these eyes around him, or, around them. And to be honest, his ability here, it seems kind of similar to the 7 Espada, because we all know that he had these many eyes that, if they land on you, he could control that part of your body. But this time with this Quincy, if the eyes are looking at you, you're already experiencing fear, and there's really no way that you can escape from that. So now we just see all this fear that Rukia was kind of putting through the back of her head and not trying to think about it. It's now coming to the surface, and we see that she is kind of losing it. But luckily, this wall of fear or spear of fear with all these eyes looking at her, they're slowly being broken away. And we see the Astronaut, he actually knows that with Byakuya that had appeared. And Byakuya, even though he did show up, he actually looks pretty cool. I do want to see how hollified his Bankai or Shikai, whatever it is that they're going to have, the little bit of hollow powers. I do want to see how they'll change his powers, because we all know that his powers take the form of these blades and the petals and light. So I really can't see how much difference it's going to be, but I definitely know that this right here is going to be a good rematch, and Byakuya will redeem himself from that defeat that he has suffered many chapters ago at this point. So even though I'm looking forward to this, I really wanted to see Rukia stand up on her own and kick some butt, but sadly she had to be saved. Now, don't get me wrong, I do like Byakuya, and I'm glad that he's showing up. But I feel that Rukia could have handled this, and Byakuya could have went to go fight somebody else. I just hope that now Rukia can get out of here, or possibly help out in some way, and do something, you know, really amazing or something big to redeem herself for being saved once again. Because this right here is kind of like a disappointment. We saw her doing work, but now she's kind of back to her old self, but she had to be saved. So hopefully, you know, that will change. But overall, this chapter, it was pretty good. Even though, you know, Astronaut whole Quincy form is definitely very creepy. But as always, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe, because it really helps me out. And you guys take it easy, and I will see you all next time.